Hey guys, I'm Mr. Higgles. Welcome back to my channel. And today, of all days, we're going to be taking a look at the Falcon once again. And we're going to be doing a top 10 tips and tricks of how to run the Falcon in the best possible way. So I've thought a lot about these. I'm really proud of them. Some of them seem, I think, kind of similar, but I felt that they were different enough to be its own thing. So without further ado, let's hop in. Number 1, know your damage reduction. Your Falcon gets a 66% damage reduction, but you need to know how much damage the other weapons are doing. If you're coming across a Spectre and it's shooting at you with 4 Terrans, you need to know approximately how much damage it can do to you with your 66% reduction. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, but really it's not too bad, because really 66% is just 16% more than 50%. So if you know that an MK2 level Terran, does, I don't remember what it does, but let's just say it does 20,000 damage. It's going to do 10,000, and then another 16% onto that, which whatever that would be probably around 7.5, 8,000. So you're taking it up, and that's doing 20,000 and taking it down to 8. But knowing that kind of information is going to help you last longer, make better decisions on where you should be going, or where you can survive long enough to maybe capture a beacon or take a hit for a team member. Tip number 2, be patient. Wait for them to finish firing before you do. You've got your single weapon on top, or Ansel, or whatever you want to run there. Let them fire at you. Let's say you're facing a Griffin with Panadas and Organs. Let them fire their load, then you bring up your weapons, and then you fire back. That way you're having as much defense as possible, and then when they're done, you'll unload on them and hopefully get the kill. Number 3, pick your weapons wisely. They need to complement each other. Your top weapon is the one that you have all the time, but the 2 mediums that sit on your back, they need to complement the heavy on the top, because if you're running like a trebuchet and then all of a sudden you put like vortexes on the back, it doesn't necessarily complement when you activate all 3. Like they don't really go well together, and you won't be very effective, because when you pop up those two other weapons, you're in a very vulnerable situation. Whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're working with, they need to be in sync so that you can deal as much damage as possible before you go back down to just one weapon. Number 4, your jump is not to engage and push the enemy most of the time. I would go so far as to say hardly ever, because you're doing more damage when you can jump. You've got all 3 weapons, but this is definitely not a bot where you're just going to want to jump into the fray and just start going crazy. It won't last most of the time. With 3 to 4 people on you without your damage reduction. So be careful with how you use your jump. Number 5, stick with a buddy. Shock trains won't do as much damage in reduction mode. People have been saying for a long time now, since the shock trains came out, that they discourage team play because of the bounce. Well, you don't take hardly any damage from the bounce. The bounce doesn't do that much damage, and you're taking a 66% reduction from that. So you're really not doing anything. It's not going to be doing anything to you. So stick with the buddy. Try not to get hit from the main shot, but stick with the buddy. And that's going to be becoming important in a tip farther down the line. But number 6, your jump is separate from your weapon switch. Use it wisely. If you don't need to, don't use it. Jumping and getting into a scenario where you don't want to be in is going to be obviously detrimental to you. We are in a long-range to mid-range meta. Jumping can get you shot by shock trains. It can get you shot by Zeus's and trebuchets and dragoons and all these weapons that do massive amounts of damage. Your jump is, in my opinion, the jump is best used to get an angle or to get away before they get to you. Very, very important. Number 7. Be aware of your surroundings. Activate your ability when it's most advantageous for you and put your opponent at a disadvantage, or their biggest disadvantage. So this is kind of what we were talking about before, when be patient, wait for them to fire. But if you don't need to activate your ability, don't. stay in the damage reduction mode as much as possible because you'll live longer and you'll better be able to assess the situation and then activate it when you need to. Number 8, most of the time it'll be better for you to try and get a better angle than to jump away. So, like, if you're not paying attention, which, people can come out of nowhere, and someone jumps right on you and starts doing damage to you, unloading on you, whatever, let them finish before, you do anything. Don't immediately activate your weapons and then try and jump away. You've got, like, I don't remember exactly what it is, about 2 or 3 seconds before when you activate your ability where you can then jump. And in this meta and how fast things do damage, you will be almost dead or close to dead, or at least have taken much more damage than you needed to if you just stayed in the damage reduction mode. In my opinion, the reduction is this robot's biggest strength and makes it the most unique because, yeah, it's got to jump and everything, but using that reduction to your benefit is the most important thing. Number 9, think. Don't rush in and expect to just take all the damage like you're the biggest tank in the world. It's a great reduction. It really, really is. But you still need to think about where you're putting yourself. Because even though you're taking a lot less, these weapons can put out tons of damage, especially when 3 or more people are firing at you. You will go down fast. So make sure you are aware of your surroundings and you don't put yourself in a precarious situation. And number 10. This is the one that I feel is one of the most important things. I find myself in this situation a lot because we live in that long to mid-range meta. If you're with a buddy, which is tip number 5, if you're with a buddy and you guys are locked down, you've got shock trains on you, you've got Zeus's, you've got trebuchets, go out and take that first shot. Let them shoot you. And then your buddy will move out with you and you can move forward. That's this robot's role, in my opinion. It can take those shots so your teammates don't have to. Because if you take that shot, you're not getting hit that much, and you can move forward and push them and get a beacon or gain new ground or whatever you need. You were made for this. The Falcon was made for this. Support your team and take one for the team, literally. Your robot can handle it. So, guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I really hope you agree with my tips and tricks. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you think you have any more, if you disagree, let me know down in the comments. Subscribe, like if you're new here, and if you want to see me do more videos like this, just comment down below. And until next time, take care.